Our first reading today from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 47, reminds me of the song Gloria, Gloria Labandera. Hindi naman seryosong kanta yon. It is rather the kind that is sung by drunkards, mga naglalasingan, after they have already drowned or downed a whole case of beer. Pag talagang lasing na sila. Actually, this song is a very sexist song. Kinakanta ng mga kalalakihan. It is sung by men to the tune of Glory, Glory, Hallelujah, which is actually a beautiful old triumphant church hymn. The Filipino mock version of this song is actually telling a story. It is making fun of a girl named Gloria. Gloria is going out to the nearby stream in order to wash clothes. As she carries a basin with dirty laundry above her head, she wades into the flowing water. And the singers describe how the girl gets wet little by little as she goes into the stream. First, her ankles, then her legs, then her knees, and then her thighs. But they keep repeating in the refrain that she's not fully soaked yet. Of course, it is a malicious song by men describing themselves, ogling at a girl from afar. In the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 47, it is the prophet himself who is going into the water. And he is seeing this in a vision. The water welling up and flowing out to the temple threshold, creating a stream. And Ezekiel is commanded by the angel to go into the water. And the water is gradually rising. First, up to his ankles, next, up to his knees, and then up to his thighs, and then up to his waist, hanggang baywang, until it turns into a river, and he gets totally immersed and forced to swim. Hindi naman sinasabi ng propeta kung talagang lumangoy siya, if he actually swam. He says, the angel got him out of the water and brought him to the riverbank. And there he observed the trees growing and bearing fruits on either side of the riverbank. And he also observes the water flowing out into the sea and freshening up the salt water and causing the fish to multiply in abundance. Sa Ebanghelyo naman, in the Gospel, the symbolism of the water is being sustained. The prophet is replaced by a crippled beggar who seems familiar with the vision of Ezekiel and the angel in our first reading, suggesting that the pool of Bethesda is the place in the temple threshold from where the water had welled up and flowed. Siguro ito yung origin of the tradition that when the water moved, it meant that an angel was stirring it up and that it had curative powers. And whenever it happened, naguunahan sila. The handicapped beggars scrambled to get ahead in order to obtain a cure from the moving water. Pero wala daw nagdadala sa kanya sa tubig. Now, remember our reading last third Sunday of Lent about Jesus, how he told the Samaritan woman that he could give her a living water that would never make her thirsty ever again. Nasa chapter 5 yun. That is in John chapter 4. Nasa chapter 4. And now, in today's reading, nasa chapter 5 na tayo. With a story of healing that sustains the image of water, the healing and life-giving water. And it comes not from the pool of Bethesda, but rather from the words of Jesus, from the very person of Jesus. Of course, John is preparing his readers for the symbolism of the water of baptism. Madalas makalimutan ng mga tao na yung word baptism in Greek is baptisma, and it means immersion, lubog, paglubog. It is not about wading, hindi tungkol sa pagtatampisaw o dipping or soaking, pagbababad sa tubig. No, it is about totally submerging into the water in imitation of the God who immersed himself completely into our human condition, the God who emptied himself for our redemption. And this is what he is inviting us to do as well. When he asks us, as the angel asked Ezekiel, to dare not just to wade into the water or to dip into the water or to soak into the water, but rather to fully immerse into the mystery of God's grace and mercy. Maraming mga Kristiyano, nagtatampisaw pa lang sa tubig ng biyaya ng Diyos. How sad, because we are called to immerse totally into the water of God's grace. The water of baptism has to be first a symbol of death before it can become a symbol of life. It is about participating in the passion and death of Jesus in order to share in his resurrection, in order to have life, and in order to become life-giving ourselves.